We are here. We are live.
Yes.
For the premiere show of
the
Money in the Bank show. I'm Andre Gordon, Directed by Dre.
And I'm John Rocha, The Rocha Says.
And we are going to go over for 1 hour.
Yeah.
All things professional wrestling. John and I, we've known each other for 2 years.
2 years. I don't want to say how long.
I don't want to say how many decades. We are going to dedicate this hour to our knowledge, our love, and our passion for pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling, absolutely.
All right, John, we're coming off the heels of a huge pay-per-view, Extreme Rules. We got a lot to cover. We got to get right in.
It was the extremist of the Extreme Rules pay-per-view ever.
Triple H,
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
What did you think of this match?
I want to say right off the bat, this match surprised the living heck out of me because I thought for sure it was going to be just like a very long, kind of boring match because Lesnar hasn't wrestled a lot.
Right.
And it's been a while since Triple H wrestled, so I thought they'd have a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But this match was fantastic. It was the best match of the night of the pay-per-view.
Listen, for those of you who saw the pilot episode,
Right.
One of my complaints about Triple H was that he was not seemingly as committed as he has been in the past.
Right.
Not involving himself in the shows.
Yeah.
Only wrestling once in a while. But he went 150%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And not only, it's like two bulls clashing in a cage,
Yeah.
and they sold their souls out in that match. They went all the way.
Yeah.
And what I love about what they did was they lent towards Triple H's style, and they fought towards Brock Lesnar's strengths at the same time.
Well, Lesnar is the surprise of the match. For me, we know Triple H can carry he can carry a stiff through a match. But Lesnar was fantastic, and the angle that they came up with his knee being hurt almost immediately, like the whole time in the match, you're thinking, is this real? Is this not real? And I thought whoever came up with that angle in the back Vince should take him out to the highest end steak dinner ever because it was brilliant.
Yeah, and
because it carried the sense of like, the tension throughout the whole match.
And that's what surprised me.
Yeah.
Because Lesnar has not traditionally been a great actor.
Right.
As far as the angles go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why Heyman talks for him.
That's why they got the mouthpiece.
Right, the mouthpiece, exactly. Yeah.
But what he did with that whole knee thing, with I love my manager.
Oh my God. Listen, that's the line of the night. That's my manager. That's the line of the night. That should be a t-shirt like today. It should be a t-shirt. Yeah, absolutely. But all his comments throughout the match. My knee. Oh, my knee, my knee.
Please stop.
Yeah, when he was resisting moves because he was literally afraid that he was going to be hurt by what Triple H was doing because supposedly he had a knee injury. It was just a brilliant thing to carry throughout the whole match.
Yeah, and what I love what they did now, they've transitioned that into an angle for Triple H.
Yeah, absolutely.
On Raw. Mm-hmm. We'll segue into, we'll do a little pay-per-view Raw segue with these segments so you guys know. But now what they've done with Triple H is that he's got this like Rocky V syndrome.
Yeah. He's got like, his body's breaking down on him. He's like freaking out when people touch him. Like at the end of Raw, he's like, he's doing a whole act, which is fantastic. I think that's great because the match took so much out of him.
Yes, it did.
You know what I'm saying? And we had to go back to the match. Listen, two things that stood out for me as well of what we already talked about. The Silver Sledgehammer, genius.
That was brilliant.
When they say cerebral assassin, that's what they mean.
Yes.
That was genius. And I love that Little Nate played a part, getting thrown all around that outside area.
I got heart for Little Nate, man.
He was involved in two of the biggest situations of the night because he was also involved with the Ryback Cena match.
Yes.
But like I thought, Little Nate getting thrown by the cage door was
fantastic.
And the
bump he took was brilliant.
Oh my God, it was. He sold that so well.
Yeah, and for me, when I'm looking at how Triple H and how Lesnar actually wrestled.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The technique was great.
Yes. Absolutely. The rhythm of the match.
It was a slow pace, but still it had its build, and I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just to go back a little bit to this, now they found a way to keep Triple H involved in every single Raw for the next 3-4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
He's got an ongoing storyline now.
He does.
And that's what I wanted from Triple H.
Right,
I'm like, where have you been?
Right.
And it's not just like, I'm the corporate guy and I'm this. Now he's involved in a storyline at the same time putting over a new wrestler.
Yeah.
Another Paul Heyman guy.
Right. And it's interesting to me because the idea of Triple H, now they do it so that he doesn't have to wrestle. Like he's got these medical issues so he can actually be a presence on Raw, but he doesn't actually get in the ring.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
Because Triple H is one of the few guys left from the old era, the Attitude Era, that can still carry an angle with simply his mic skills and his acting.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that a lot of these guys can't act, but...
No. But
this guy can.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
He's been doing it for
years.
years.
He's reinventing himself.
Right.
And that's what I like about Triple H. He went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to DX to Triple H, the Cerebral Assassin, to the King of Kings, to the COO, and now he shaved his head and has gone this end of career type of thing, but still hanging on. I really like it.
Yeah, and he put over that guy, the new guy, Kurt Axel.
Kurt Axel.
Which I think, on my personal opinion, I don't think anything's going to happen with that guy. I think he doesn't have any screen presence, and he's kind of boring. And the fact that they're using his father's name and his grandfather's last name, who is he then? He's just a
hodgepodge.
Yeah, he's a hodgepodge. He's not his own person, and I think that's not going to work. And the fact that Triple H bitch slapped him right on the foot, that immediately killed any punch.
And he smiled before he did. He said, "Oh, listen, little boy, kapow!"
The adults are talking.
Oh, that was great.
That was
what
awesome.
did Five Fingers say to the face? Slap! All right, we're on to the next segment. We'll be right back after this break.
Right on. All right, welcome back to the Money in the Bank show. We are covering next now the Del Rio versus Swagger match from the pay-per-view, the I Quit match, or I Quit, as you might say, with the Swagger. I wanted to ask you, Joe, what did you think about this match?
Okay, let me just start by saying this.
Yeah.
Coulter.
Oh my God.
Is a genius.
Genius.
What he was doing with when he went into the baseball thing, calling them the Caribbean,
the Caribbean Cardinals,
and the buildup that he created by himself for that match, he went all out.
Yeah.
As far as insulting every particular race involved, he didn't hold any punches back.
No, he didn't. And I thought that was fantastic because I think it's the best promo he's ever done.
Oh man!
And he's done some good ones, but that's the best one he's ever done. And he's a pro. He totally worked that crowd to perfection. He walked that line between like what people are actually saying on like programs like Fox News or the conservative talk shows, and some people I felt the audience was kind of starting to agree with him.
Yes.
And then he turned it on him by going, and also this place should be called the Caribbean Cardinals instead of St. Louis Cardinals. It was perfect. The crowd immediately turned.
He's had some great, great moments as far as calling him a criminale.
Criminale.
Built up some little jabs here.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the IRS.
Oh, I
he
know.
was talking about
current events.
Current events,
which
again, is something they did in the 80s.
Yes.
Bringing in the Sergeant Slaughter, bringing in the Iron Sheik, bringing in the Russians. Doing that makes it more relevant. I think it's smart. We talked a little bit about what is the identity going to be of the WWE. Maybe they're mixing the 90s and the 80s.
I think that's perfect. I think you're absolutely right, man. I was thinking that the same thing when I was watching the match. I was like, this is just like the 80s stuff, and they're trying to bring back the Attitude Era. They're doing a nice mixture of both because they're trying to figure out who they are now. I think it actually worked in this situation.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think the match itself was unbelievable.
It was a fantastic match. Fantastic. Swagger, who I'm not the biggest fan of, and you know this.
I know.
I thought he played really well with Del Rio. There's great chemistry, great movement throughout the match. It was fantastic.
I think that the way that they actually feed off of each other, the submission holds, the reversals, everything that they were doing.
But the
I Quit, the way that they were milking the I Quits just completely made me lose it.
I know.
No.
The pauses.
No. I
But the thing that almost killed the match for me, and I think we both agree with this, was the ref asking after every little innocuous move, do you want to quit? Do you want to quit? Chest slap. Do you want to quit?
I was going to quit the pay-per-view if that referee did not stop asking, do you quit? I mean, let the match go a little bit. Give us a sense of build, a sense of something.
You don't quit within the first 2 minutes, for God's sakes.
Oh, he walked in the ring. He tripped. Do you quit?
Do you quit? Headlock. Do you quit?
It's cold in here. Do you quit?
Oh my God.
I mean, what do you want?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That was the only complaint from me. I think they kind of built away from it as the match went on, and maybe someone was whispering into his ear saying, look, give them a little bit of time, let the match play out, then ask them what they want to do.
Absolutely.
You can't ask you just can't. It doesn't work.
No, I agree. It kills the rhythm of the match. And
it does.
And it took us out of it. People who watch wrestling matches, who know this match, it almost took us out of it. That's what makes the match so good. It was good in spite of that crap that was going on. Now, the other thing I want to bring up, which is a huge deal, we have entered into a new era of wrestling.
What?
instant replay.
What?
Instant replay.
Let's go back and watch this in instant replay.
There's about 4 million matches that can be overturned in the last 30 years. Had we known, we could use instant replay. When did this get passed?
I don't know.
For God's sakes, when did this get passed? I couldn't believe it got used.
They're trying something new.
Yeah, I guess so. They're trying to be relevant with the rest of the sports world at using instant replay.
No, they're building the concussion thing in. They're building all the relevant things in.
They're trying to make it.
Let's just be honest.
More relevant.
Instant replay in professional wrestling is not gonna fly.
For God's sakes, what are we talking about?
I mean, then Flair only has one title.
Right.
Because every title was with the brass knucks, thumb to the eye. What about all the switcheroos?
Yeah.
What about the Bella Twins? They switcheroo all the time.
You could instant replay every Bella Twins match, for God's sake.
Yes,
you really could.
Then you have to instant replay when Dusty Rhodes got his arm broken by the car by the Four Horsemen outside because they're like, oh, he can't wrestle because he was attacked. We can't have instant replay. No, what is happening?
No, don't change my wrestling now. Don't do it now.
Don't do it now.
There's no point to it.
I'm too old for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our next segment.
Dead giveaway. Okay, we are back. I'm praying right now to the wrestling gods for a little bit of help and clarity.
Yeah.
All right. So the Cena Ryback match. I'm looking at my notes here. It was a great match.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
I was actually buying in. Cena is very limited.
Yes.
But they did their best.
That's a good
word. Their
word.
best.
Yeah.
A couple things. When you're doing the last man standing match, let me educate you guys right now. Actually, I'm really talking to you, Cena, but I'll talk to you later.
Break it down, Joe.
Let the count play out. All right? Ryback did a great job of that. Let it get to 6 and then start moving. Let it get to 7 and then get up. Cena would basically advertise the fact that the match was going to end. Ryback would get knocked out. Yep. He would already go and get another thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. He'd be already assuming that the match is going to keep going and that Ryback was going to get up. So it killed the tension of whether Ryback was going to be done.
The match for me.
Yeah,
he blew the spot. Ryback pulled a piece of the wall out of the floor
wall. Right.
and hit him with it. And Cena didn't take the hit right. Yep. I was very disappointed at spots because he's been doing this for 10 years now. Oh, when are you going to get it right?
Right.
It's a decade. 10 years. 10 years. I was in college 10 years ago. What is wrong with you? Okay? You made my sign fall down, Cena.
Yeah.
All right? Now, the ending here, John.
Yeah.
Any respect that I have for the match?
Yeah. Because it was a good match.
It was a good, solid match.
Neither one of us are the biggest fans of Cena. No offense. We'd love to have you on the show. We're not the biggest fans. You work a match. Nobody can argue that. But we're so surprised at how good this match was because we just thought it was going to be a couple of beefcakes grunting and doing power moves for 20 to 30 minutes.
Right.
But what happened was a fantastic match broke out in the middle of this thing, and people were playing back and forth. Regardless of Cena's inability to kind of let the count play out a little bit more, we still enjoyed the back and forth. We enjoyed them going into the stands.
Definitely did.
We enjoyed going into the like nobody saw that coming. Going into the crowd, that was awesome. But then the ending of the damn match, which was fantastic initially, like. Dre and I blew up when it happened, as explosive as the explosions were of the lights.
Right.
We shot up, we're like, oh my God, this happened. But then the match just ended.
Killed it. Listen, this is a last man standing match, right?
Right.
Which means the last man standing
wins. Right.
Ryback walked out, Cena did not, and Cena kept his title.
So how does that make any damn sense?
Now, this goes back to everything I've been saying. And listen, I'm actually becoming educated on John Cena's plight. I bet you're frustrated too, John. Because it looks like what the WWE is doing is kind of shackling you.
Yeah.
By protecting you, by not having you drop the strap, by doing this type of ending, it makes the smart wrestling fan mad at you.
Yeah.
And it's probably not your fault. I mean, it would have been better if...
It's a sea change.
No, listen. Because honestly,
all right.
I mean, unless Cena has creative input on his matches, which maybe he does. But to go through an electrical wall and not have the match end and then just say we're going to have an ambulance match next week, I don't like how they play them. Lose the strap if you can't get up.
Right. That's what exactly. Lose the strap if you can't. And don't defy the laws of physics. You are getting slammed through in a downward motion. How the hell do you end up above Ryback on a steel girder of some kind? That makes absolutely no sense. What are you talking about? And nobody made a decision. Nobody even made a decision. Like, there was no decision announced. The ref didn't go. The ref didn't count to 10.
Nothing.
They just went to the ambulance.
You know why? Because of the Cena rules.
Oh, my God. I thought it was Ryback rules.
Well, it should be. Ryback should have won.
Right. Ryback should have won.
But they will not give Cena the opportunity to benefit from what The Rock and Hogan had.
Yeah.
And that is the chase of the title.
Absolutely.
Getting beat.
Yeah.
Rock took a beating every week to get that title. For like a year, took a beating.
Yep.
Cena, just like, they wouldn't even have him lose. You know how many times Rock lost?
Yeah. Multiple times. Many times. And it was, but he had the audience, and the audience was with him on the journey to get that title back every time.
Give Cena the chance to do that. If you're not going to turn him heel, which I think you should.
Right.
I think that you have a Hogan-esque type of heel turn in the making.
Yes.
At least give him the opportunity to lose matches, to take that beating, to build up the chase.
Yeah.
That is what made all the classic championship runs and chases classic.
Yeah.
But you can't not have him lose.
Exactly, and I think it was a shame because at the end of the match, the fans were booing.
They were booing.
They weren't booing because Cena didn't win or got hurt. They were booing because they were disappointed that it was a no contest.
And guess what's going to happen next time they see Cena? They're going to boo. Why? Because they're feeling something. And I'm done. We're done.
And we're done.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm the Professor with Today in Pro Wrestling History. In 2006, Booker T beat Bobby Lashley in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, thus ushering in the reign of King Buckeye. In 2011, Ring of Honor was purchased by Sinclair Broadcasting, thus turning a small regional promotion into a national promotion. Some notable wrestlers from Ring of Honor are CM Punk, Daniel Bryanson, and members of the Shield. And finally, we have the Professor's Pick. In 2001, on a live taping of Raw, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H had a tag team against Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho. Now, what makes this match so memorable and historic is that this is the match where Chris Jericho applied the walls of Jericho on Triple H on the announcer's table. Now, what happened next was Triple H tore his quad muscle, but he was still able to finish the match. And that is Today in Pro Wrestling History.
All right, welcome back to the Money in the Bank show. Oh, we're talking about this now. We're starting off. We are going to talk about, as Dre is pointing out, the Mark Henry versus Sheamus strap match that went on. How about that? What do you think? Oh, yeah. Our producer is a big fan of Sheamus. She's not quiet about how much she wants to touch the Great White. She loves the Great White.
Yeah. Well, the Great White, you know, he got turned into the Great Red because he got beat a little bit.
Lord God. Yeah, he did.
But I thought it was a good match.
It was a good match.
It was short.
Yeah, that's what surprised me the most. It was a shorter match than we thought. Thought it would go on a lot longer because he's such a big man. You didn't think he'd be able to do what he needed to do to him in that amount of time.
It was weird. They built up to this match rather well.
Yeah.
As far as starting the angle earlier on a few months ago.
Absolutely.
And then the match was like, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, I felt was fizzled out. And I wonder, because Henry was doing this thing, if he was legitimately injured.
I think Mark Henry got hurt.
Yeah, it just seemed like it wasn't part of the storyline.
I feel like he got hurt.
Yeah.
Part of the match, halfway through the 5 minutes, that's like as long as one of our segments.
Right.
They started playing the comedy of it. Like Sheamus would be on top of him and hitting each post behind him. And then slowly, it just turned into this this comedy of errors, and then it just ended.
Yeah, I agree.
Which makes me think that he was hurt.
Yeah, and I think so because he didn't show up on Raw the next night. Sheamus showed up and had a really good match with Titus O'Neil.
Yes, he
By
did.
the way, I love that. Thank you, WWE, for pushing Titus O'Neil
Yes.
and primetime players. They need some more airtime.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Give it to him. Give it to him, for God's sakes. Give him more chance. So I thought that was fantastic. I don't know how much more you want to say about this match.
Well, the thing is, look, Mark Henry, he's getting older.
Yes, he is.
He's been at wrestling for a while.
He really has.
But I would rather dedicate this time to Alpha.
Oh, my God. Sierra.
Hotel.
India. Echo Lima Delta. The Shield. The Shield.
Decorated in gold.
Yeah. Finally. Yeah.
You love the Shield.
I do. I'm a big fan of the Shield. I like these angles where they come in, this foreign entity comes in and invades the WWE. I love it. I've been a big fan of this kind of thing for a long time.
Right.
I didn't buy the Nexus one, so I really love the way they're doing the Shield, which is basically the NWO all over again.
Right.
It really is.
It
I mean,
is.
they're Ring of Honor wrestlers. They're not WWE territory wrestlers. They're Ring of Honor wrestlers. So they're coming in, and they finally gave them all the gold, which I was wrong about. I thought that Kofi was going to win.
Listen,
so
Gordon Vision doesn't fail.
Yeah,
okay? Gordon Vision is pretty accurate.
You can't deny that.
99% guarantee.
You called it. Ambrose was going to win the strap on the USA, and he won it. What can you say? And they're poised. They're poised. They're ready to take on the WWE now, even more so. They've got gold. They're champions now, and they're coming for everything.
Okay, so now,
I don't think they dropped the belt.
Where do we go? Where do we go from here with the Shield? Like, what will they do next now?
Well, I think you take the tag team. They're obviously going to do the rematch with Team Hell No, but I think there's other tag teams which they said in the pre-show or in the post-show that people are going to come after them. Other tag teams are going to after them. I think it's fantastic. They're a great tag team. It's going to bring a lot of energy to that division because Team Hell No had played itself out about 2 months ago. In my opinion,
I agree.
Nothing against those guys; they're great wrestlers, but I think the angle that played itself out with the audience. Now this is going to be fantastic.
But see, now we have to stay to the formula though that they are invading and taking over and implying their justice on different wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I feel like they need some type of opponent that can keep the feud going.
Right.
Right now, it just seems like they're going to do the rematch with Team Hell No. Team Hell No is going to lose. It's not going to. They're not going to win the titles back.
Right.
So I'm just curious to see what they do next with these guys. And then who the U.S. champion is going to face off against next. Because it just seems like we've got to find somebody. Look, every heel is as good as their face that they're facing off against. So who's going to equal out these guys?
I think eventually Ambrose is going for the IC title. And they're obviously pushing Miz because they took him off the pre-show for Raw at least. And they put him in the main one of the main events of that night.
Right.
And I think they're trying to push Miz more and more since he came back from shooting that movie. But I think Ambrose is a logical choice. I would love it, this is my personal opinion. I would love it if they got all the belts. Then that would be insane. That would be something old school.
They could go back and get the European title.
Pull it back, pull that out. No, it would fit. I think it would be fantastic. I think they're definitely going to go after all the belts. And I think what happens at Team Hell No is that they break up, and what could be a possibility is Undertaker and Kane come back together.
I do think that could happen.
Destruction. Yeah.
But listen, what I'm waiting for, and this is what I hope they do, I'm waiting for one great face to be the leader of the Shield. I'm waiting for one great face to turn and be the leader of the Shield. That would make things really great.
Ooh, who could that be?
Now, what if Cena, talk about justice.
Stop it.
Talk about justice. What about the injustice of Cena and he's the actual leader of the Shield?
Right.
And we just got dinged.
Damn it.
Okay.
There's more to say.
Next segment. We'll be right back after this. This next segment is brought to you by USANA Health Sciences. This is how we do it.usana.com. And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, we are here for one of my favorite segments, the Glass Ceiling Wrestler of the Week. So, John, my Glass Ceiling Wrestler of the Week.
Well, wait, hold on. Before we go forward, maybe we should explain what these categories mean to our first-time viewers.
You're smart.
Yeah. Well, so I've been told.
Well, the mask is cutting off circulation to my brain. So the Glass Ceiling is like the underrated performer of the week, someone who should have more of a push, but is not getting it for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So my Glass Ceiling Wrestler of the Week was referenced in our last segment.
Oh.
He is Titus O'Neil.
Oh!
From the
love this
Prime
choice.
Time Players.
Love this choice.
Millions of dollars. Now, Titus O'Neil, he's a Gator. Now, we are Seminoles.
We are Seminoles.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
We still like you, Titus.
Please, watch us.
You're a big, strong guy. You got great moves. You actually have a lot of charisma. And I feel like you're being underused and undervalued in the company. I think the WWE needs to give the primetime players and Titus O'Neil a bigger push, more time on the stick, more time in the ring.
Right.
And I think they could revitalize the tag team division.
Absolutely. And I think it's a good point you bring up because they used him in the pre-show and the post-show.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that. They're giving him more attention, more focus. They want him.
And listen, as a brother, it's good to see the brothers. Got the black mask on. It's good to see the African American wrestlers getting a push. So let's give them a push.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, John.
All right. My Glass Ceiling, this is going to surprise everybody. is The Miz. That's my glass ceiling wrestler of the week. There was a reason he had the strap. There was a reason he main evented WrestleMania. He must do something well in the ring. People gravitated to him. People had awesome shirts. People gave him huge pops when he used to come out. Now they've taken him away for a while. They put him on pre-shows. They put him in a movie. He's been kind of buried away from the WWE title for quite some time. They've given him the IC title now, but I think he needs to start making his moves towards the top. Because if he doesn't, he's just going to go by the wayside, be a mid-carder for the rest of his time.
He was a main eventer at WrestleMania 2
He main
years
evented
ago.
WrestleMania against Cena with The Rock interfering, if I'm correct on that.
Yeah, you
so
are.
it's like, you can't tell me that this guy doesn't have the charisma, the talent, the moves to go even further ahead in the WWE all over again. So WWE, please, give The Miz a shot, give him a pop. I'm not waiting for you to mess this up. I believe that you can get this right. So please do that. That's my glass ceiling guy of the week.
And that's our glass ceiling. Wrestlers of the week.
Wrestlers of the week. All right, we have to talk about it. It is my turn to introduce and talk about the Fandango versus Jericho match at the pay-per-view at Extreme Rules. Andre, this guy, you've got a huge love for this guy. You take it. What did you think of the match?
Listen, I thought that this guy he's great as far as the charisma goes and as far as his leaping ability, his aerial attack.
Yeah, can't deny that.
I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed.
Interesting.
I was. Listen, Fandango, they've given him a platform that none other wrestler in the last 3 or 4 years has had.
I agree with
He's
that.
beaten Jericho in his debut match at WrestleMania.
That was amazing.
On the grandest stage, at the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yep.
Now, to give that type of opportunity to a wrestler, you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like they missed spots.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They missed spots all over the place.
It was a very sloppy match.
Right.
And you know, you can't say it's Jericho's fault because Jericho could wrestle with a couch.
He's the pro. Right,
And
exactly.
it would look great.
He would work it.
But I do think that they need to figure out what his angle is going to be as far as how often he's in the ring and how often he's outside of the ring. He does much better outside of the ring.
I agree with you. Absolutely. And the thing is, here's I wanted to see something from him. The reason I've been down on him is because I haven't seen anything in the ring that's impressed me. Even at the WrestleMania match, I thought it was all right. It was a nice victory. But I thought he actually did a better job in this match than he did in the WrestleMania match. They missed spots, so the match was uneven, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I thought that he had more personality, more charisma, more moves that were fantastic, and the rhythm of the match I thought was all right. It was all right. He's going to get better. I think what they're realizing now is the gimmick is over. He doesn't get
not over.
He doesn't get the pop like he did before, so they're turning him into an old school heel. So like what they did with the Summer Rain cracking her ankle, and then or Summer Rae, whatever her name is, and then they did the thing at Raw where they had him abandon Wade Barrett during their tag team match and just be outside doing his own thing, and then he took off into the stands like a coward. So they're pushing old school heel thing because I mean, dude, I'm just saying.
Listen,
Listen.
let me tell you something.
Yeah, break it down.
Let me tell you something, brother. Fandango, here's what happened.
Yeah.
They weren't expecting him to be as popular as he was.
They aren't the only ones.
Okay? So I think normally when this happens with the wrestler, they
Yeah.
send him back down to OVW, they develop him for a little bit, and then they bring him back.
Okay.
I think he
That
is
has
so
happened.
popular, and the pop is so big that they're keeping him on the show.
You're crazy. There is no pop. He is not that popular.
People are still fandangoing.
Oh, yes, of course, little kids and fat older people are doing
that's
it.
how
but
Cena makes
the
a
whole
living.
crowd isn't doing it.
That's how Cena makes a living on little kids.
Well, true.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
but when Cena does it, the whole crowd erupts.
No.
Positive or negative.
Yes.
But when Fandango does it, there's an apathy that's settling into a
No,
majority of the crowd. I'm
no,
telling you,
it's
they're only
your
doing one or
apathy.
two crowd shots. They're not doing it like
We
it wasn't
saw,
in mass.
we saw a whole
four
section
people.
like
The whole section. That's all four people.
Like, oh
my God.
Like they were like incensed.
You're nuts. They're not.
They're gonna keep him on because of how popular. If he wasn't popular,
Yes.
they would mid card him.
I'm telling you,
or jobber him.
I'm telling you, that's coming. They're trying to push the old school heel on him.
I agree. I do
And
agree with that.
If he doesn't attach himself more, I think they're going to push him back down in the mid cards. Yeah.
But you know what? He's doing a great job as a heel.
I don't deny. I think actually, I think it's actually working what they're doing with him. The old school heel stuff. Yes, I agree with you. Keep to that. Don't do the whole this dancing crap.
No,
Give me the old school
this
stuff.
is great.
No, this is great. But I will say this: he's getting way more of a reaction and attention from the fans than Disco Inferno ever did, or Disco Fever, whatever his damn name was. Because it's the same gimmick. He's getting way more traction with the audience.
Well, Disco Inferno, if you recall, was a little more of like a silly, jokester type.
True.
Very, very stupid.
True.
As far as common sense goes.
Yeah.
This guy's a little bit more cerebral.
Yeah.
With his attack.
Yes, fair enough.
Because
he's got real skills. What we know is he has real skills in the other federations that he's fought in.
Yes.
So he's legitimate.
I think he's a little nervous.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
It's a big stage.
It's fair. I can give that.
He's starting out against Jericho.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
That's huge.
By the way, can we give Jericho a 10 for that code breaker catch off the top rope from Fandango?
Caught him
in midair.
And code breakered his jaw.
That was, I literally shot out of the couch. It was amazing. Because we were watching together.
Yes. Yeah. It was brilliant.
Fantastic. I give it a 10.
And speaking of 10, I am very impressed with Randy Orton and Big Show.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that match surprised me.
Okay.
Now, I knew that Orton was going to win.
Yeah.
It was in his hometown.
Right. Gordon Vision.
Gordon Vision does not fail.
Again. Yep.
99.9%. And look, Big Show was hitting the ropes hard.
Yeah.
He was taking the bump. Look, this guy is 500 pounds taking full solid bumps.
Right. And this guy's a pro. This guy's been around a long time through a number of federations. If you give Big Show the right guy to work with, a good ring worker, he can give you a fantastic match. And they had great chemistry in this match.
They do. And I was surprised because you have wiry Randy Orton and big old Big Slow.
Yeah, Big Slow, right.
And who's to say that we'd be able to fit well together in this type of match?
I was surprised.
But what Big Show did, which was great, he lent to his strengths. Every candlestick, he'd break it, toss it away.
That was great.
Every single weapon, break, toss it away.
The ferocity of that. He's like, what is this? It's not going to hurt me. Snap. Look at that.
Gone.
What is this?
B5 fun. Randy Orton, you are dumb. Crap. Bomb. It was really a good match. And he went back to the punt.
He went back to the Viper.
Hears voices in his head.
Old school Viper.
I love it.
It's great now because you don't know if this means he's going to turn heel or he's going to stay face. Because the punt was outlawed.
The punt, Vicky Guerrero, she outlawed it.
She outlawed it.
It is against the rules.
Excuse me.
Excuse you.
Excuse me. That's outlawed.
Yeah. And he kicked the Big Show in the face.
My God.
And they showed it instant replay.
Yeah.
He kicked him in the face.
Oh, he kicked him in the face.
I was like, oh, okay. They played it from the wide.
No.
He kicked him in the cranium.
Yeah, he kicked
like
him in the
a melon.
Face. It was like a soccer ball.
It was.
It was a goal.
I liked it, and I think this again is showing us that Randy Orton, he's on the verge of another world title push.
Oh my God!
Mark my words.
So. I love the Viper.
Mark my words. I hope that somebody takes Cena out. I hope it's you.
Time.
It's time. It really is time.
Hello, I am the Professor with your Wrestling Moves of the Week. Assisting me this week from the frozen tundra wastelands of Iceland is the Blonde Mamba. And as always, from the island of Tonga, Matt Practice. Now the first move we'll be showing you guys today is the ankle lock. Again, this is a very dangerous lock, so please be careful. In fact, you probably shouldn't even try this one at home. Leave it to the professionals. As you can see, she has the leverage. There's nowhere he can possibly go.
Damn.
She's really wrenching on that ankle, putting it in a position it shouldn't go. And putting it in a position it simply can't go. So she probably shouldn't, lean on it too long, because again, it is a very dangerous move that can do permanent damage. So again, probably not too long with this one. This one you might want to ease up on. Okay, very good. Now, our next move will be the head scissors. Now, you'll see there's not really much finesse or technique in this move. This move is nothing but pure brutality. Just muscle on skull. There's really nothing more to it. Just crushing his head like a grape. If it slipped under the chin, it would become a chokehold. But for now, this is all perfectly legal. Again, they're professionals, so they know how long she can keep this hold on him without doing permanent damage. she does know what she's doing and will release when she needs to, so there is no permanent damage done to Matt Practice. Thank you again, Blonde Mamba, Matt Practice. And again, I am the Professor, and those were your wrestling holds of the week.
Okay, we are here for our last segment of the day.
Thank you for watching this far.
This has been a great first episode, in my opinion.
I agree.
I'm very happy.
Very happy.
So if you and I are the only people who watch it, then we're happy.
We're very happy.
So each week we're going to end each show with a segment called Direct to You from my Twitter, directed by Dre, and the Rocha rant. But we're going to speak specifically to one particular superstar. Now this week I'm going to start it off, and my Direct to You is to CM Punk.
Oh, this is going to be good.
CM Punk, where are you? I fell in love with straight edge, okay? I taped my wrists up before I worked out, you know? I even had the Pepsi tattoo on my, I don't have a tattoo. But honestly, you transcended from a mid-card. You broke the glass ceiling. That moment when you sat on the stage and gave that shoot, that was magic. I thought this is the next Stone Cold Steve Austin, but in his own reincarnation. Right. And now you're gone. And I think what is really brilliant about this, if this is an angle, which it could be, is that we are longing for you. I sleep at night thinking, where is CM Punk? I think you're coming back as a face. I think that's why he's gone so long. So we can kind of wipe the brain clean of what you did before, because you were a great heel, and I don't know how you're going to come back. But what tells me that you're coming back as a face is your last speech on Raw. You said you're normally looking for the next great challenge, and you don't know what the challenge is going to be, which makes me think you're going back to the integrity thing. Who knows? But you're a great wrestler. You're great on the stick. You don't look like a meathead.
Nope.
You are a consummate professional. I watched your documentary 2 weeks ago, and where you came from and what you've not been willing to sacrifice to be here as far as your wrestling skills and morals. I think that you should be back. Not only should you be back, but you should be the vehicle in which the WWE rides off into the next era of professional wrestling. Right. So hurry back, whatever you're doing, directly to you, CM Punk. Straight edge for life.
How can I follow that? I'll do my best. That's a fantastic direct to you by Dre. This is John Rocha. It's called @TheRochaSays. That's the Twitter, and this is called the Rocha Rant. So I'm going to start off. My thing is this. I'm not addressing one particular wrestler. I'm addressing the entire WWE organization in there in Stamford, Connecticut. I want to beg you, on my Rocha hands and my Rocha knees, to not mess up the Shield. For God's sake, please don't blow this like you blew the NWO angle. And you did. No offense. It was a great beginning. I'm going to wreck my creation. It was a great beginning. I was in. What you guys did to The Rock with the NWO was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. It was even better than anything they did in WCW. I was blown away that you could do that. The send me into the ambulance. So now I'm like, come on, please. Please do this with the Shield. Make them more vicious. Make them more stronger. Make them destroy people, because it'll make people turn on them or love them. Either way, you push merchandise, and that's really what's good for you guys. And what Dre said earlier about getting a face to be the face of the Shield is a brilliant idea. If you can do that, then you've really completed the circle of NWO and the Shield, and you've taken it into a whole nother generation, a whole nother era. And I think, honestly, a lot of fans will go with you in this era. I will go with you. And I'm an older fan. I will go with you into this. And I'm thinking that you guys have all the potential, all the possibilities. You have enough personalities, enough good wrestlers to be able to make this happen. The Shield has to be fantastic. Hell, give them all the straps. Hell, give them all the top straps. I don't care what it's going to take, but I think you've got a real potential to push these guys to a whole nother level. Don't start adding people. Don't start doing that crap. Keep them small, keep them tight, and let them blow through everybody. I think you have a real potential to do that. Hell, and don't give them Heyman. Let them be their own thing, please. So from me, ranting, the Rocha rant, to the WWE, please don't mess up the Shield. On my hands and knees, I beg you. Do not mess up the Shield.
That was an awesome Rocha rant, and that was our show, guys. Tune in next week, live from Four Horsemen Studios for the Money in the Bank show. Listen, this is great. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna watch more NWO stuff.
Let's
now
do it.
and see. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll do that. We'll see you.